Okay. And if you ladies have ever been on Zoom before, in the top right-hand corner, you can change the speaker view. So you can change how you view it if you want to see everyone's face or just the person talking. And then just giving you a little tour on the bottom, there's a chat box. So you can put in questions in the chat if you don't want to just speak at that moment. And then we can come back and address any questions in the chat as we go along. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. Alrighty, so let's go around the circle and we can chat about, so for Alana and Janine, I'm not sure if you heard, just introduce yourself, let us know what industry you're in and what some of your goals and challenges are right now and what you're working on. And then we can just all workshop and learn from each other and help you in whatever area you are. So let's start with Nikki, because you're the first one I see on my screen.
So my name's Nikki. I'm a health coach. My goal is to help women create healthy habits. My goal in my business is to actually get a client right now. I don't currently have any paying clients. And my struggle is with marketing myself currently.
Okay, great. I'm just making notes. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And then let's go over to Dila.
Hi, my name is Dila, and I used to be in film industry, actually. I was doing advertising on sets and videography, video editing, all this stuff. But currently, there's no sets, so which is my challenge started. And then I found a design studio and advertising agency kinda, and I start working with them. They want to globalize their company, and I'm Turkish and I came from Turkey like 3 years ago, and the company is in Turkey and they want some collaboration with Canadian clients. So I'm trying to extend my network and find someone who wants to adopt this digital life, because we can help with this company digitalize your business or whatever. Do you have a just idea? We can make it real, something like that. So I'm trying to work on this stuff mostly right now. So yeah.
Just for clarification, are you looking for clients for the agency? Did the agency hire you and then now you're helping them bring in revenue and get clients?
So yeah, we became a team right now. So I am the contact in Canada. So I am looking for clients and we can collaborate, because it's a very technical stuff, right? So making a design, I don't do that design, but I am the communication between the design team and the clients.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And do they give you commission for your clients?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's the deal actually between us, right?
Okay. Cool. And are you looking for Canadian clients or international?
Globally,
Okay.
anything, but not Turkish at all, because I'm done with Turkey. That's why I'm here.
So funny. Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, Dila. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Vanessa. So my name is Colleen, and I am a success coach. So I help women overcome challenges like insecurities and fear and bad habits that are keeping them from living a life full of peace and joy. So Nicole, I'm totally there. I know you focus on the health side of it, but my challenge right now is I've been exchanging free coaching for testimonials, and I'm looking to get into paying clients. So that's where I am now.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I love that there's lots of similarities between what you ladies are talking about, because what I'm hearing is a lot of like packages, pricing, and actually finding clients and selling to your clients. Okay, cool. Okay, Alana.
Hi, everybody. Hi, ladies. Happy Monday. Super excited to be here. My name is Alana. My company is Viv and Oak, and we are a non-alcohol cannabis wine company. We are distributed right now just in the California market.
Cool.
We're doing extremely well with that. And our goal right now is changing women's prefixes to another way to consume. So without alcohol, having it infused with THC and CBD, which is a far healthier solution than alcohol.
And how does it taste?
Amazing. It tastes
This is
so
cool.
delicious. It's wine. It's originally wine. We extract the alcohol from the wine and then we infuse it with THC and CBD. So we're able to keep in a lot of the tannins and flavors of the wine.
Wow.
We do 2 different varieties. We do a sparkling rosé, and we also do a sparkling Zinfandel red.
And how are you currently marketing to the end consumer?
So right now we're marketing for as an alternative beverage, an alternative wine alternative for men and women that necessarily don't drink alcohol anymore, that want a solution that they're never left out of a party.
Cool.
And without the hangovers,
Yeah,
food.
right? And are you doing that mostly through Instagram, Facebook? What platforms are you using?
So we're doing Pinterest, we do Instagram, we do Facebook, we do Twitter is a big one of ours.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
And do you know your stats? What are some of the most successful platforms?
So right now, Pinterest is doing extremely well.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're doing really, really well with Pinterest. Because it's our target market. It's women that are looking for a better way to consume. Our target market is women 35 plus. We're getting a lot of 25 plus as well. So our target market is surprising us as well every day.
Yeah, I am totally in your target demographic. I barely drink and I'm like, I want to try this.
All ladies
This
are.
is cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, thanks so much for sharing, Alana. This is exciting. Okay, Kaylee, over to you.
Hey, everyone. Vanessa, you know
Yes.
my spiel already, but I will share it. I am a life coach that I focus on mainly like confidence, similar to Colleen. Essentially, like confidence is one of my main things, mindset, really like getting the person out of their own way so that they can focus on the things they have in their life to be grateful for and start truly loving themselves and figuring out who their best self is so that it can start going for that person. And and similar to Colleen, like I'm just getting started. So I've had one paid client, the other ones were free, and just making sure that I'm consistently getting new clients so that I'm not starting to hit that roadblock and start getting anxious about it. Just so that it's like more continuous and yeah.
Cool.
And that's my spiel.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Kaylee. Okay, we'll go over to Christine.
Hi, sorry, I was muted. Hi, I'm Christine. I've recently been laid off for my job. I work in the travel industry, and we were hit hard, obviously. But I also kind of before that, I was taking courses and looking for a career change anyway. So this time off has actually kind of been a blessing in disguise, in that it's kind of allowed me to focus more on myself and what I want. And I was able to finish my courses towards HR certification. So I'm looking to get into HR, and since I'm kind of starting fresh in looking to start fresh, I am looking for tips on networking and kind of how to get into a new field, basically, because I haven't done that before, or in a long time anyway.
Do you know what fields interest you to get into and change into?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, not really. I mean, the good thing about HR is it's in any it's in any area basically. Obviously my hope was, and my company was supportive of it, in that I would perhaps start working in HR in my field, and that in the travel industry. Depends on how things go with that, obviously, in the near future. But other than that, I'm not really bound to a certain area anyway.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine. Perfect. Okay, Valerie.
Sorry, I was also on mute. Hi, everyone. My name is Valerie, and I'm an interior designer. I've been in the industry for about 8-9 years, and recently, late last year, I decided to venture on my own. So it's been interesting to start a business during this time, because it obviously makes everything a little bit more challenging. Like, how do you get clients, etc. Especially, with interior design, you really have to, it's harder to do things online. Like, you obviously have to go to sites and things like that. So I've thankfully been working very closely with Vanessa since late last year. She's been my coach and really has helped me navigate a lot of those challenges. So right now I'm really focusing on the back end of my business, because I've pretty much, since last week, I issued my last project submissions for the next while. But it's good because I can really just focus on the back end of my business, build my website, strategize on how I'm going to put myself out there more from a social media point of view, and just really figure out my marketing strategy going forward. So that's really the next big thing for me. And sometimes, it's what's the silver lining, and it's really just having that downtime could be an asset, and really strategizing for next steps and going forward. So
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. Thanks, Val. Okay, and then we have lastly, Denise. Are you there? Okay, awesome.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry, I came on late.
No worries.
So we're just doing like a brief introduction.
Yeah, so if you just intro yourself, what do you do? Any challenges or goals that you have right now?
Okay, so my name is Denise. I'm an intuitive life coach. I started my business, been working on it for about a year, and then left my full-time job last August. And I'm really excited right now because I've had a lot of time to work on it. I picked up like a part-time job, and then obviously that got canned. So I'm really focusing all my energy and building my business, and really been like the mission and my why behind it, I think, is what drives me, because I have a very feminine energy in business. But also I think that I've been struggling with getting consistent clients and kind of making a clear offer. But I'm in a launch right now. Like, my program starts May 22nd. It's a 4-week program that I've developed. So I'm really trying to bring the right souls into my program. And I'm only using Instagram right now, and I'm finding it's not reaching my target market. So I'm a little bit worried about getting this program and connecting with the right souls who would really benefit from my work. So looking to expand my reach. Like, I don't know if I should put out ads. I don't know if I should like add something free so I get, people more eyes on me. But that's what I'm doing right now, building this thing.
Cool. And you said that Instagram isn't your current target demographic. Who is your target demographic?
I mean, I think, so my Instagram, I morphed it from like my family and friends one to my business one. And like, I just feel like it's people from high school, like looking at my stuff, like some spirituality, business coaches, and people interested in that realm are following me. But like, it's like my sister, I'm like, it's not like I have 1,000 and 100 followers. Like, I feel like I'm just preaching to the same choir, and like not getting the new faces, like the women who are, 22, 24, going through a spiritual awakening, like having a life crisis. Like, I know they're out there because I went through that. So like, where are they? Right. Yeah. And that's been my struggle since the beginning. So I've been doing like really low ticket offers, like $30 calls for half an hour. And like, it's just really sporadic and not sustainable at this point. But I'm hopeful. I've developed this program, and I'm hoping, like, I have 2 people in it right now, and it's very low cost. I'm hoping I have like, at least a couple more. But yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. I have so much to say for everybody. So we're going to try to cover a bunch of different things. And then if anything isn't clear for you, just ask questions, and then we can workshop you specifically. a general question. What is actually getting in your way of moving to the next step? So we talked a lot about marketing, you know, expanding your reach. There is still something there that hasn't gotten you there yet. So what's actually holding you back from your next step? Is it not knowing what to do? Like the knowledge? Is it confidence? Is it having the right team? What's actually holding you back? And you ladies can just talk whenever. Yeah, go ahead, Colleen.
I find that I'm not sure how to word, you know, when I reach out, like mostly I do Facebook stuff. And when I reach out just on my like my business page, I'm not getting the interaction that I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. So I question whether or not I'm wording it in a way that is encouraging people to participate versus, I know that I have a tendency to speak to people that are more action driven, right? And so I need to change that the way I reach out.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You know what? What I'm gonna do is everybody else hold your little challenges, because I want to address Colleen's right now because I think it will also apply to so many other people. So I'm going to give 3 steps because this is so common. So Colleen, how long have you been engaging and you haven't been seeing the results that you want?
Not very long. Like I said, this is new. I've been you know, I think like Denise said, I right now, a lot of my clients are people that I've met, that I know, or that I've met organically. Like with COVID, I'm on a group that's my local. I live in Barrie, Ontario, and I put out there that I would be offering a couple of free coaching sessions, and I had some people reach out, but beyond that, it's all people that I know. So it hasn't been very long, but even the people I know are not engaging in it. So I get frustrated.
That's okay. None of the people I know ever engage in my things.
Okay. All right, I'm not alone.
Weird thing where half of the people that, you know, maybe you grew up with, like Denise was mentioning, or people in your past, they don't necessarily engage and evolve with you. So if we're chatting, let's chat Instagram first, because there's some really specific steps and tools, and I mean, that you can apply to see some change over time. The important thing is consistency for sure over the next 30 days. And you have to do it every day for 30 days, no question. So a few things that are really popular in today's algorithms are mixing. So let's talk your feed first. Within your feed, it's a combination. If you're advertising, so Alana's is a little bit different because she's not posting pictures of herself necessarily. So if you're promoting if you are also the face of your business, it's important to also incorporate pictures of you. I think sometimes people don't, but people really like, if I look at my feed, I have to sporadically put pictures of me in professional photos. So getting an actual photographer to take your photos, the engagement on a professional photo versus a photo I took, night and day. Really invest in a wheel light or whatever the heck they're called, a newer like light in your home to take photos if you're going to do any on your own, but invest in a professional photo shoot. When you do that, get as many different outfits as possible. You want this photo shoot to last you a good 2 months. And it's funny that it'll only last you 2 months. So it's really investing in your brand and your image. The second thing is video. Video right now is very popular, especially because people are scrolling. When doing a video, I would recommend using InShot. It's an editing platform. And it's really important right now to put a title on your video so people know what you're talking about, as well as captions. Now, I haven't even started putting captions yet because this software and the free platforms aren't working very well. There are a couple free platforms that you can use to automatically put the captions. One of the easiest ways to do that is through YouTube. If you upload your video to YouTube, it will automatically put a caption on it, and then you just take it from YouTube, especially if it's short. If you do it on InShot, you can still put a title on InShot, and then that's what I've been doing right now, is just putting a title in InShot and then making sure my my description also explains what I'm talking about. But even if you see what you're doing, I don't even have my sound on when I'm scrolling through Instagram and looking at people's Instagram. So you need something to pull people away. The second thing is the type of content that you're putting out there. Stories and lives are really important right now. So if you're gonna throw yourself completely out there, I'm gonna give you the like full works, and then you pick and choose what you wanna do. Number one is pick a day that you're gonna have a live show on your Instagram. And you can't care if nobody shows up. The point is you're talking to that one person, and then that one person doubles. In the beginning, it's also nice when only one person shows up, because you can practice and you're gonna feel super awkward, so who cares? But have a day where you have a show, whether it's, you know, my friend just did one yesterday and she called it Michelle's Style Show. So if you have one day where you go live at the same time every week, people start to know to tune into you. You can pick whatever time you want, it becomes your show. You don't have to call it a show. You can call it a training or a message or, you know, coffee with so-and-so, but that consistent content is really important. If you have a Facebook community, you can also stream live on Facebook, live on Instagram at the same time. So you'll see I'm starting to do that. My show is going to be on Sundays, because I went live in our Facebook group, which is probably how you found out about this, every day for 3 weeks. And then now I'm turning it into a 1 week thing. And then I'll just train once a week. And then I'm going to stream live on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. That is getting a lot of traction right now for a couple of reasons. The same thing that I think marketing was a really strong thread in everybody's comments right now. And in marketing, people are really trying to sift through the bullshit, and they really want to get to know you. And so if you can go live and they see how lovable Colleen is and how, you know, how much Denise cares about her clients, they'll want to work with you. Like, they need more right now. They want to know you're funny. And even I know, even if you're not funny, it's fine. But even I notice a difference in my videos versus my lives, or, you know, my longer videos, is people get to see your quirks and your nuances, and they just like your vibe and like your energy. And if you're not giving people the opportunity to see that, you're really hurting yourself, right? And then you can build and grow that over time. So number one is the show. You can, and I'm very hesitant to say this, you can bring guests on your show. I would rather not. I would rather keep the collaborations and guests for other things that you do, and use it as a collaboration tool that you can go on theirs, they can go on yours, and you just plan a random time to go live with that person and promote it as a separate event. It's really important for you to stay consistent with your community and providing value for you to keep your show about you. If someone comes on your show, you can be like workshopping and training, but it's just really important to always be giving value. And I hope you'll see throughout the tips and stuff today, it's just about how can I give value? How can I teach them a tool that they can use today? And I think so often, and one question that I had for my mentors when I started giving more is just, well, how do I know what to give versus what to charge for? And how do I know, you know, Denise has a course. How do I know what to say out loud if I've mentioned that in the course and that's a tool I use in the course? And all of their responses, and they run already multi-million-dollar businesses where it's exactly the same. If someone were to go to a free event, they would get almost all of the stuff from the course. If someone were to look at all of my YouTube videos, all of my Instagram, they would get most of my course. But people don't do that. People don't sit there and watch all of your videos. They don't know how the tools and techniques all come together. So it's really important to just continue to give value that people can execute and see small changes in their life from those tools, so that you can continue to build that relationship. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, when we're going into stories, stories are also really popular right now, and again, giving value. So I'm going to give 4 steps and 4 tools or questions to answer within your stories and within your videos for you to move through. So the first thing you're going to say in your video, it's kind of like an email. You're going to give the title. Hey guys, or girls, whatever. Here is, even Alana, right? I'm going to tell you why cannabis is, or I'm going to tell you how we infused cannabis into our wines. I'm going to tell you, you tell them what you're going to tell them. The second thing, which most people miss, which is a really important point, is why is it important to them? Someone might sit there and think, well, I don't really care. Like, why is it important for me to know why cannabis is infused or how it was infused? You have to tell them why they need to listen, why it's important. You have to make the connection for them. It's kind of like your cover letter for your video, right? Like so even if we go to Colleen, like, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to tell you 3 tips to follow today to feel more confident. Well, why do I need to feel more confident? And you need to tell them, like, I know you are sitting there feeling anxious, overwhelmed. You maybe don't want to get out of bed, or you don't want to call that client. Like, you have to get into their mind. What is their current challenge that they're feeling that your answer or your tip will help solve? And this applies across the board. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Everybody has a problem, and you have a solution to solve it. So all of your stories, all of your content should be looking at what is the problem that I'm solving, and how do I communicate that to them, right? And then your third step is to actually give the tip, and it can be really fast. And this is the difference as well when you advertise a course or your offer. Obviously, when you work with them one-on-one or in their course, they're going to get more detail, right? So you're still creating desire for them to find out more information. And then your fourth is the call to action. You always want to be giving a call to action. I don't care what it is. The best call to actions are when you can get their email or when you can get them to do something. So even if it's comment below, or comment on this, tag a friend, register for this opt-in so that you can get their email. It's really important for you to understand, where am I funneling them into my sales system at this point? Does that make sense? Okay, so those are your 4 steps. So one thing to add into that is, and I do this all the time, I literally do this monthly, is I write out 2 lists. And this is very true, ingrained in me right now, because I'm working on all the copy for my upcoming course. And so really understanding, I want you to write 2 lists of your target demographic. What are their current pain points? So even if we come back to Alana, because I'm also your target demographic, is like, we don't like to drink. We don't want a hangover. We don't want to feel like shit. We still want to be social, but getting even deeper. And this is where people, I think, also miss the mark, is so what? So what is, I don't like going out with friends because they're all drinking and I'm not. It actually ruins my social life. So what is, I'm a productive entrepreneur. I don't want to feel like shit the next day, and I want to still be productive and move my life forward. I don't want one night out drinking ruining my entire week, right? If we go to Val, especially now with COVID, your pain points are changing. So if you're doing design, what are your clients' pain points? Well, we can't even get people in our stores. So what do? We're losing revenue like no tomorrow. Everything's shifting online. So how do we engage with our clients? Really getting to the emotion behind it. Like, we're losing money. What is it costing them being that way? So even things that are more mindset based, like Colleen and Kaylee and Denise with the inspiration, sometimes it's really hard to sell motivation and confidence, because people don't connect that they need to have more of that. They don't connect to, oh, that's me. So in an ideal world, you want your client to look at your marketing, and many people have talked about marketing and messaging. This goes in all of your copy. You want them to look at your copy and think, holy shit, she's talking to me. Like, that's me. And you can have, if you run ads, you can have different ads for different niches within your target demographic. But at the end of the day, just having a really deep understanding, and this is why I do this monthly, of what are my clients currently going through right now. And then in that, when I build my content, I just look at that list. Okay, today I'm going to focus on one pain point. Tomorrow I'm going to focus on another. So you're always addressing what they're going through so they feel like you understand them and you get them. Your marketing, and now Instagram is just your website, right? It is a marketing tool every day. And so even, let's say, and this is why also with marketing and ads, there's a lot of trial and error. Keeping your stats, and you'll notice when I asked Alana, like, what are your stats? What do you know? Like, which platforms are working the best? Same goes for when you run your ads. I'm the philosophy of, it's not that it's not working, it's how do we adapt it to make it work? Because it's working for others, so how do we make it work for you? So, and an ad, let's say that Alana also might try to run, is for the husband of the wife who doesn't work, or sorry, who doesn't drink, right? So it's looking at, okay, is there a big market here of someone that I'm missing? Let's say, and I've chatted with Nikki before, Nikki's target demographic is a little bit younger. She works with women who are also 16. A 16-year-old may not be her client. It may actually be her mother. So really looking at who are you speaking to and who do you need to get in their shoes to better understand what their interaction looks like. Is this making sense? Okay, cool. Colleen, does that add some value and some helpful tips for this engagement and specifically your social media?
Yes, it doesn't really, like, I'm just wondering, so, okay, so I have to try it because I know.
Yeah.
So I have tried to do that, but I haven't made sure that it's in each and every time I reach out. So I'm going to be more consistent with that.
Yeah. There's also obviously ways for us to expand. So once you have this foundation, collaborations become really important. Who are you collaborating with? Who are you getting to share and promote you and your product? This goes across the board. For Dila, which is, online and marketing and the more tech stuff, same thing. Having your referrals, having your testimonials, and having people share your things, and looking at other people who have large communities and chatting with them and saying, how can we collaborate? The biggest ways that we expanded TLC, even because it started completely by accident, I literally said to people, hey ladies, I'm going to bring some of my friends. Why don't you bring some of yours? And that's how TLC started. Very basic, first days. And then it started expanding because I knew that I couldn't give all of the tools and techniques. And so I knew I wanted to bring in a doctor and a fitness expert. And I looked for women that had similar values, that had large communities, and I started bringing them in for workshops. They were then promoting the workshop into their community as well. Now, online brings it to a whole other ballgame. You can be doing Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives as events and as collaborations. Now, it's still really important to follow the 4 steps and make sure you're giving a call to action. So this kind of funnels into really knowing your sales system and what your call to action can be. Who here has an opt-in or a way to collect emails? Mace, is it launched? Do you have a launched way to collect emails? Nobody. Okay. This is super important. Everybody's hand should say yes, or should be up. So making sure, even Alana, do you capture emails?
That's my marketing team.
Okay. But do they capture emails, and how do they capture emails?
That's a good question. We go
Hmm.
through it every week. I just forget how she does it.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So looking
So
at
it's usually based, it's on, dispensaries, it's a list that we have from the California market, say dispensary, who we want to target.
Cool. Yeah.
So
your list is more from other communities, is that correct?
Exactly.
So if I were interested in your product, how can I sign up for updates and information?
On my website.
Okay. And it just says like sign up.
Sign up for our emails.
Okay, cool. So yeah, one thing to take it a step further, and I mean, I coach a lot of coaches and personal brands. This may shift slightly with harder products. However, still really good to research and investigate, is always going back to this, how do I give value? So if people can give you their email for a free webinar, for a free PDF, for a free ebook, for a free anything, interview, people want to give you their email for information. This is your main way to capture information and emails from your target demographic. So I just did an online summit, and I've had people do this even within products, is they'll look at, okay, who do we need to interview to educate people? So maybe you bring in 10 experts in the cannabis industry, in the wine industry, so that people get more information and education about what you do. And then they have to give you their email in order for you to get this information. Your email list is your money. And too often we don't focus on our email list, and people have no way to even give you their email. So thinking about, okay, do I have an opt-in? Do I have a webinar? Do I have there was one more I was going to say, like an online summit? Do I have an online challenge? Some way for people to give you their contact information. And this should be running all the time, because it's a really important call to action for you to give in your marketing. Okay, let's see. We have, bring to Canada, please. Is that for the wines? Can people buy the wines in Canada?
They can't, just in California.
Okay, well, I'll have to come when I come to California. Collaborations help introduce you to other people, and great, yes, 100%. I don't do yet because I'm not sure what to do with the emails. Doesn't even matter. Collect them anyways. Yeah. Even if you just keep it, you need to be gathering that info. I'm also taking it one step further. You might see texting now has also become really popular. I'm starting to collect optional people's phone numbers. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but if you subscribe to Gary Vaynerchuk's email community, he's doing an amazing job at fostering his email community. And he just sends motivational quotes and uplifting messages weekly. I love him so much more because of his email community, and I'm getting to know him more through his texts and his information. People are unsubscribing to emails like left, right, and center. So if you're just starting to build your email community now, I would recommend building email with an optional phone number. And then you can decide what to do with it later. It doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, it is your money. So if you end up wanting to sell a product, a course, whatever it is, you need to have a community to sell to. Or we get into the situation, which Denise is talking about right now, is like, I built this course and I don't know who to sell it to. And I see this all the time.
That's me exactly. And like, I'm trying to go back and like touch on my old clients. And now I just feel like I'm like, oh, hey, we haven't talked in so long, but like I have this program. I'm like, that's so shady. But I would have had probably like 20 or 30 emails by now. So I'm going to go back and like try and get them all. But people have suggested that for me too. Like, where's your update list? Like, when are you going live? When's your this? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not organized. So
and even what to do with the email list, like we can talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to email.
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff to say. It's like the organization stuff I struggle with.
Yeah.
But we'll talk tomorrow too.
Yeah, we'll chat later. But yeah, just understanding that you need to start collecting and building a community. I don't care how. But so often I see people be like, oh, I need to sell this product. And they're coming at it from a sales perspective as opposed to how can I build my community alongside building revenue? Because they're now one especially with Instagram and Facebook. So much of these marketing efforts are, how do you build a community? Same thing goes for a product. Dila, Alana, you're still building a community of people that want a certain thing. So how are you nurturing? How are you providing value? How are you fostering that? Even within Dila, right? Like if you're giving people tips, and I see this sometimes. I was talking to a photographer and she was planning a webinar a couple weeks ago. And she sent me her webinar and it was all like, oh, this is why you should hire a photographer. This is why it's important to work with a professional. I was like, people don't give a shit about that. They want to know, how can I take my own photos at home? And she's like, well, then they're not going to hire me. I'm like, yes, they will, because they're going to see the difference between their photos and your photos, and they're still going to hire you. And so I think so often people are afraid to give actual tips in fear that it's going to take away from their sale. And maybe it is in the short term, but in the long term, maybe not. That's the same person. If they want it bad enough, they're going to come to you a month later. They're going to say, man, thanks for the stuff, but I still can't do it as good as you, right? You're building a relationship, building a community. So that really goes back to the pain points that we were talking about, and understanding, what is my community? What do we stand for? What do we want to be known for? And really going back to that brand and looking at, is it aligning with my entire message? And if you want to chat more branding, we can do that another day too. I'm writing all these notes.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So you know this stuff, how it works and how hard it is to make people understand. Guys, you need a professional, because I do understand, because I got my all education about this stuff, like visuals, marketing, how to build a brand and everything, and you know that stuff. So like you gave a lot of really good tips, but that's not enough, because they are like, you're giving the tips, for example, for their content actually, which is so important, but to make it a little bit more authentic, which is so important right now, because they all have right now all these, like everybody has an idea, and it's a very competitive area right now. Like it's very competitive. You have to like customize it, not just the content, how to serve it, like how you see as a visual. Like the visual is so important, and it has to be customized. Even if your fonts, like the templates on social media, like people are like, oh, I don't have money, I didn't make someone. Like that's why you need a professional. You have to invest it. Then when, like for example, I have a client, okay, like making it, for example, let's say it's Denise, right? Like life coaching, she's building a brand, and we are helping them, like for example, making a template but customized. It's very authentic. That's what people looking for. Like, and these messages, like I loved it, the messages you're giving, why it's important. I'm gonna tell you, but it's important. Even if the idea is so good, the content, if you don't give the message in a right way, in the like bigger fonts and then small, like there's like some visual stuff, some strategy of it, which is so technical, that's important too.
Right. So you now have to be the language between the client and the tech, because people don't understand that.
Exactly.
So what you need to go back to is, what is their actual pain point? Their actual pain point is sales, time. You're talking to the woman who may have already built her own website that now needs to increase revenue and increase sales. You're talking to the person who's tried everything and who still doesn't have high conversions. You're talking to the person who does not have time to spend the next month working on a website. So it's just really understanding, what are the pain points of your actual client and what do they need to know? So maybe, that makes sense.
One specific question about my business. So since my business like could go everywhere, like a startup, an individual, or a big corporate company, or like governmental stuff, like everything. Do you think, like, sometimes I find myself really lost, like because everybody is my target, to be honest, because everybody needs some digital sides, right? So do you think, should I plan my weeks like one by one? Should I go like individuals only 1 week, like focus on individuals and sending emails or trying to reach, and another week just the corporate companies, trying to reach them? Like like sometimes really I find myself really lost. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you two answers. The simple answer and the real marketing answer is pick one. But I understand as an entrepreneur, that's not always an option because you still need to make money. So my recommendation for you is pain points, because and writing out both. And then I need you to look at, okay, if I'm working with entrepreneurs versus corporate, what are their pain points? Are there any similarities? And how can I speak to them in that pain point? And this may be with multiple people that you have multiple different target demographics. So try to niche as quickly as possible. However, look at, okay, what are their pain points and how can I speak to those pain points? So maybe in your message, Dila, and in your comments or in your content, you actually say, whether you are a startup, whether you are already making millions, I see you. I know that you're still trying to increase revenue. I know you're trying to increase engagement. So they still have common pain points, and you can call out both in your content. But it's the pain points that you're addressing. What problem do you solve? And get very clear on that, as opposed to thinking, oh my God, I can help this person and that person. You're still solving a problem. What's the problem? They're having the same problem in both demographics. Does that make sense? And is that helpful? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Any other questions about that specifically? Okay. I want to end on another concept for you ladies to consider this week. And I just feel like we're just going to keep adding in, because next week we can chat more about email list and branding and like what to do with your email list, and then going deeper into brand. But a couple things to consider this week. I want you to write out, I want you to put a triangle on a page. And I want you to look at, okay, I want you to think of it as a sales funnel. At the bottom, I want you to ask yourself, how are people coming into my community? Are they coming in via, an opt-in? Are they coming in via a challenge? Like, how are they first engaging with my product and my company? Are they coming in from, a sample or a tasting? Like, how are they first engaging? The bottom is usually something free. Then it moves up. Okay, what is their next step to engaging? Usually it has some sort of payment, but it's smaller, right? So maybe there's like a $5.99 offer, an $11.99 offer. This looks a little bit different for Alana because it's one product, but still looking at, okay, how are they still engaging with the brand? What are the steps to engaging with the brand? So that's usually like a lower ticket item, a less investment, whether it's monetary or figuratively. Then you're going into a deeper investment. Okay, then maybe I have a membership, a monthly, a mastermind, a group coaching, something. What is the next step? And then what's my highest ticket item? And I think so often people don't build out their sales funnels and have no idea. They're just like, here's my product, here's my offer, and they're not actually considering, okay, and we can actually paint this out next week too, because we can do an entire graph and just really understanding, okay, where are people coming in from? How are they engaging with my product and my business? And then where are they going from there? And this takes time to build, but really looking at your business as this triangle of where am I funneling people and what other options do they have to engage with my product or my business? Does that make sense? And so often even coaches, or the same goes for Valerie as well, like you offer one thing and then what? Right? Your time is limited. You max out at a certain number of people. So how do you actually build out your entire pyramid? And oftentimes we start with the top, and that's okay too, because that's your fast cash. So if we're talking coaching or even design, you're talking, or even consulting, you're talking about, this is your one-on-one, this is the package. That's usually where we start for fast cash. And then we build out the rest of the pyramid and the triangle. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's how we also, so I was really reluctant to even, I was doing corporate training and executive coaching for 15 years. And all of my coaches were always saying, I think you should start to work with people one-on-one. And I was like, no way, because I don't want to trade my time for money. So I had to go find myself a bunch of mentors that had made multi-million-dollar businesses through coaching and helping others. And both of their revenue structures look completely different, but they both make over $1 million a month. So you just have to look at, what does that look like? My one mentor, she has 3 online programs, and then then her email list, she really focuses on her email list. She does online challenges and webinars and free events every month to funnel new people into her courses every month. And then she makes $2 million a month from her courses monthly. Right? So, but again, it's understanding the sales funnel. She also works with some people one-on-one, but understanding, okay, here are my free events, my webinars, my workshops. Then they can go to this course, then they can go to this course, then they can work with me one-on-one. So there's still also making sure that your clients see a difference between your courses, and your offers. Who are they for? What are the steps that they go through? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. One of my other mentors, he works in the fitness industry, but his offers are, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. He also hosts like huge events and masterminds. So it's just understanding, what does your revenue structure look like and how does that go from there? Even Alana, with your product, what are your different income streams? Is it just the wine, or what does that look like on your side?
So we have 5 SKUs. So we have 5 different SKUs, and right now it's just product, pretty much.
Yeah. And are there other ways in California for them to experience the brand?
Right now it's samples.
Yeah.
They're giving out lots of samples for customers and dispensaries to try us first before they buy us. So that's really big right now. So that's what we're doing pretty much. Yeah. So, and then people are buying from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
So it's like the whole kind strategy, you have to give away, stand there, do events, hand out bottles, talk to your customers, and then we're getting repeat customers.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And you can even, now the group coaching.
Expensive way of doing things, right?
Yeah.
It's a very expensive way of doing things. Yeah. But for us now, it's really the only way.
Right. And it depends, like there's so many ways to do it. Obviously you all have different businesses, so I'm trying to make this as general as possible, but looking at like events and those collaborations are still uniform. It's how do we create an experience for the end consumer so that they understand who you are, who your brand is, what you're trying to give them, and then they can interact with you and choose from there. Does that make sense? But you have to give them the opportunity to experience, however that is throughout your sales cycle. So just really understanding your sales cycle. And we can also chat more about sales, because this is a huge one, especially if you have calls with people and or interacting with people, because meeting and being able to convert them into a sale is huge, especially when you have a higher ticket item and you're looking for them to buy your higher ticket item. Cool. We are finishing up. Any questions? How was that for you ladies? We'll just go around, and if you can let me know what resonated with you most so that I can know what material is more impactful for you and how, if I'm communicating it in the right way for you to hit home. We can we'll start at the bottom actually, just on my screen. So Kaylee, go ahead.
I'm just thinking about that actually. Probably I really want to dive deeper into like the pain points
Yeah.
and the most effective pain points to really grab the people that I need in my tribe and who I want to serve. Because like they always say your avatar is usually someone similar to you, right? But really diving deep into how I can connect with them and pull in the most people, because ultimately that's how I'm going to serve more people and help more people. So I feel like that's probably the most, but I do have to run because I
No
have
worries, we're almost done.
I
I'm
have
glad we started with you.
coaching client in a minute, so I'll
Okay,
probably jump
cool.
off sooner.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna take a picture before we all head off. Okay, cool. Awesome. Okay, Denise, go ahead.
I really liked what you just explained, like the sales funnel, and I'm noticing that, like, just because I have a 4-week program, well, maybe somebody still wants a low ticket call with me, and right now, like, that's not in my Instagram bio because I'm just promoting my call, but I want to like get more things on my website and like just like make it more accessible for people. And I feel like I have done this funnel just kind of in like, sorry, but like a half-ass way, you know what I mean? Because I've been doing this myself. Like I have built that, but like do it from like in a way that's like actually gonna work, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm a very visual person, and honestly I've invested so much money in coaching programs, and it's like a blueprint and here's the outline and you do it, and it didn't work for me. Like I've learned everything myself. Like this is more helpful than, you know, the $4,000 program I invested in. So yeah, I want to take
That's great. Yeah.
look at that.
Number 2 is don't put so much pressure on yourself, even if your funnel just looks like a free offer and then your 4-week course. That's okay. Because you're still giving them another option to still stay within your community. But then making sure that you're still serving your community through lives and through Instagram so that you're not letting those people, slip through the cracks.
For sure.
Convert them later, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Like reaching everybody.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Denise. Okay, Val.
Sorry. I think similar to Della, in interior design, although there's one thing that I'm passionate about, you can have so many different customers, right? From a residential project to like a large corporate office to a retail. And I think it was a good reminder that, and I think it's something that you've mentioned before, Vanessa, is if you pick one, at the end, other people from other industries may still want to work with you. It doesn't necessarily limit you, but then if you're not very clear with your vision and who you're trying to reach, people are confused about your brand and what you're offering. So you're missing out on like a big chunk. So I don't know if that helps, Dilla, but I think that's what resonated with me most, because I think that's what I keep spinning my wheels over that, where I'm like, oh, this is really what I'm most passionate about, but what about this? Am I going to miss out on this and that, but not necessarily? So
yeah. And also think about within your marketing, even if you say, so for example, one of my mentors coaches a lot of celebrities. He literally puts on his bio like celebrity coach. No one's going to say to him, oh shit, I'm not a celebrity, I don't want to work with you. If anything, they're going to say, oh, I want to work with you more, right? So think about, if I put that I work with $1 million companies, is someone who doesn't like, am I still giving enough content and enough, am I relatable enough that that person might still reach out? Like, hey, you, if you want to, even if you're not a millionaire company yet, or you're not making millions, I can still help you. And this is how. So it's just how you talk to them and the types of content and information you give them, because you're not necessarily going to turn away the people that you think you are. Because if anything, they might peak their ears up a little bit more and be like, oh, she does that? I want that too. Like no entrepreneur doesn't want that. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Val. Okay, we're going to go over to Colleen.
Well, there was a lot of gold nuggets in here, so I had to pick one. So one of the things that I really liked about what you said was doing the live, like doing a live consistently at the same time so people look forward to it. I think that's great, because I don't know about you, but there's sometimes when you are watching somebody's live or just, you know, engaging in their content, there's a familiarity and a trust that builds just because you have those touch points. So if somebody is seeing my live videos consistently, I think that can build credibility, which as a new coach, I'm trying to build that. So that was something that spoke to me today. So
yeah. Thank you. And it's, I mean, again, be patient with yourself. It takes time, you know, to evolve. Start with one thing at a time and then just keep adding. Even the stories. I mean, if you could go daily, honestly, Colleen, if you can go daily for 30 to 60 days, you'll get a client. But are you willing to do it, right? And you have to, one thing that helps me is setting a time to do it every day. I knew when I wasn't, heck, I would just like fall off. So picking one thing at a time to really give them a tip every day. And then you're building that relationship over time. So yeah, you'll be great. Cool, thanks. Okay, Alana.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, everything you've said is great. And I think bottom line, it just comes down to resistance and confidence, you know, but the impactfulness of the video, I think, is so valuable. So that for me is something that I really just got to get working on, and talking about the brand and the reasons why. You know, the story, I just want to add, my Facebook has changed dramatically. I was not a lover of Facebook just because it was all high school. It wasn't an audience. I didn't really want to talk to those people because my brand's in California and I can't really get it there. But then since I started storytelling, my audience completely changed. Now I have women that I have from all over the world that have come over, and just, so that's the cool thing about storytelling. And
how have, I'd love for you to just add one more thing onto that. How have you found the best way to storytell? Are you doing that through video, pictures, you know, messages?
Through words, through what I'm doing, just, you know, and you don't, it could be you of a picture, just be confident with that. You know, it doesn't have to be on a fly, prepare for it, add words to it, what you're doing, why are you different, you know, but show your face there. It's really important, and what you're doing. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much for sharing. That's great.
Thanks, ladies. Thank you.
Christine, I hope that some of the stuff today has been relevant to you in your current position as well.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I love coming on your and watching your lives and everything, because I find, even though, like, for me, I'm not working for myself, which is, I guess, the main difference, but I can always pick things out of your sessions that apply to me. And even if it doesn't apply to me, like, apply to someone I know for sure. So I've even picked up tips to, like, recommend to my friends and stuff, you know, so no, it's always good. Thank you.
Oh yeah. And what is one thing that you can take away today for yourself?
Let's see. I mean, I guess for me, instead of, because I'm not looking for clients, I'm more looking for a network, but it can still work the same way. So, like, through Instagram or other social media, just like getting myself out there more, I think.
Yeah.
Really.
Awesome. It can 100% work the same way. You can reach out and offer, like, how can we collab? How can I help you? Even if you're not your own business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Dila. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed a lot, by the way. That's my first session with Vanessa. Amazing. I love what you're doing, really. I respect what you're doing too. And so what is the takeaway for me? A lot. But if I have to mention one or two, like, first of all, pinpoints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm going to make, like, the lists and all this analysis for me and everything. And I had actually some ideas while you're talking for my company, and I'm just gonna share with them in an hour, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward for your sales cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dila. I appreciate you. Thanks. Okay, and last but not least, Nicole.
Yeah, I really loved what you said about the email list and getting numbers for text messaging. I've heard a few people, which is scary, actually, their Instagram and Facebook get hacked and then they lost their clients and their business. So it's super important to have your customers and clients like not just on Instagram. And I'd love to learn more about how we can get their emails, get their phone numbers, and then once we have them, what can we do with them? Like I understand, I love that you said like send out weekly motivation emails, or like for example, for someone like me, I thought maybe I could send out weekly recipes for healthy recipes. So yeah, I would just love to learn more about that because I think it's super important.
That's awesome. So yeah, my first tip too, I'm going to add one more tip for Nikki, is we don't have to know the answer. Like I don't know what your clients want to hear. So the best way, and you'll see that I do this within the ladies community all the time, is I just ask, like, what do you want to send? What do you want me to send out? What do you want to know? How often do you want to hear from me? You don't have to make it up. Just ask them and they'll tell you. It makes your job so much easier. And so even you might have noticed if you're in our email list, we even sent out an email last week saying, what information do you want to know? They got to choose business, networking, how often they want to hear from us. And then it will change. It'll create different lists in your back end. So you'll know, okay, Colleen only wants to hear from us once a month. Christine wants to hear from us actually just once a year to check in. Dila wants to hear from us weekly. So you can create sub lists within your network so that you can create content for them.
So I did that and I got no replies. So
Okay.
do you recommend doing that once a week? Just keep trying?
Honestly, I do it multiple times a week. You'll see
Okay.
I just ask the same question in a different way. And just because you didn't get responses doesn't mean that you should stop asking. It just means let's ask in a different way and let's still continue to build your community. Maybe they're not even used to you asking them questions that they're like, whoa, Nikki just asked me a question. I don't even know what to say. So bringing down those barriers and making it easy for them to continue to communicate with you and for you to ask. One of my clients has an Instagram community of over 40,000. She has never asked them what they even want, what they like from her. She had no idea what her brand was. She's trying to now monetize her Instagram community and had no idea how to even build an offer because she had no idea what they were doing. So it's really neat. Whether you have a community or not, same principles apply. You have to ask them because you don't know what they want. And then you can start to create from there. I just had a comment. Oh yeah, you can relate. Yeah, totally, Denise. It's really true. So don't worry, just continue to ask. I ask TLC all the time because I have no idea.
I tell one thing to Nikki. Yeah. Nikki, I am one of them who never reply these questions as a client, as an audience, but I did answer only one time. What was it? Vanessa's last email. She made me click on it. I don't know why, but maybe we don't have patience to write it. Really, yeah. I clicked on that.
Good. I'm glad. And you know what? We're always trying new things because some people hated that email, but I'm glad that Dila liked it because we're always just trying to understand like how can people better communicate with us. And so you just keep trying different things and then hopefully you get everyone in some way, right? Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you ladies so much for being here. We're going to come back next Monday, 10 a.m. to 11. And then ask me any questions. If there's anything you want to cover, keep me in the loop, add me as a friend on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And then let me know how I can help you and we'll see you next week. Oh yeah. Colleen. Yeah.
Will it be the same meeting room?
I'll send another one. Yeah, I'll create it. So I will email everyone that registered for today. I'll email you the new link for next week.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. See you ladies.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.